Hey, Fight fans, it's Michelle Joy Phelps, and I'm joined now with Justin Fortune. It's great to finally meet you. We've never met before.
We haven't?
We've
You
never
sure?
met, I swear to God.
Listen, I'm punchy, but I'm sure we've met.
I swear we've not.
All right.
If we have in
Well, nice to
passing,
meet
maybe
you.
perhaps, but we've
Nice
never
to
done
meet
an interview together.
Oh, okay. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you as well. Obviously, we just concluded the press conference for Manny Pacquiao versus Yordenis Ugas. A bit of a derailment in there with this past several weeks with having Errol Spence Jr. out. I know a lot of fans were disappointed, obviously, because that was a big fight that we all wanted to see. But nonetheless, Yordenis Ugas, definitely a tough fight. I think a lot of people are overlooking him. They're definitely...
Yeah, we're not.
Yeah.
And we never do. Ugas was ready for his fight. I forget who it was against. So he's ready there. We're lucky he was there.
Right.
Otherwise, there wouldn't have been a fight, which would have been tragic. But no, never underestimate. He will come to fight. He just doesn't have the experience or the power to step up to man. Like when changing our sparring partners, once we got the news, we find 100 Ugases. You can't find anyone like Pacquiao to spar, just to get used to that speed and power. It's tough. So yeah, it's going to be a good fight though.
Freddie Roach said that he believes that Manny Pacquiao can knock out Ugas. Do you feel the same way?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, I think he can. They keep saying Manny hasn't had a knockout. He knocked the fuck out of Matisse. And then beat Brian, then beat Thurman, then beat this guy. So Manny has had Matisse was a better opponent. I mean, Ugas, I'm not putting him down, but it's just not the same level of opponent. I mean, he just hasn't the experience that Pacquiao has. So that's the big difference in this fight, is Manny's experience, speed and power.
Well, Manny had previously, and I can't recall specifically how long ago, but I think it was about a couple of months ago when he tried to get his title reinstated with the WBA and was rejected. But here, in a turn of events, it's almost like fate sort of aligned him back to this very moment for him to potentially get his title back.
God doesn't like the WBA. So give me some. I mean, Jesus, WBA. Tired. What do you got? Champion in recess, super champion, regular champion, champion having a shit. I mean, what the fuck, dude?
I was going to ask you, do you feel like there's just far too many titles these days?
No, there's good organizers, IBF, WBC, WO, and WBA, but just one, why do you need one division that has 4 different titles? It makes no sense. Well, to us. I know why they do it, but that's a different reason.
Manny's alluded to this potentially being his last week, but if he wins in strong fashion on Saturday...
Last week, he won't quit on Ugas. You don't finish it. No offense to Ugas, again, it sounds like I'm coming off like an asshole, but Manny Pacquiao can't finish his career on Ugas.
Okay.
Simple as that.
Now, does he wait for someone like Errol Spence Jr. because you know that his injury can take a while, because we don't really know how long it can take, or does he try to go the route of, because we know that Terence Crawford needs to face Shawn Porter, maybe the winner of that fight?
That's a great fight. Him and Terence is a great fight, and you also remember Manny's political timetable.
Right.
So if it all works out proper, I think him fighting Bud is a good fight. It's a great money fight, and it's an audience fight. I mean, it's something that everyone would love to see. It would be just as big as Floyd, I think.
Does Manny face Terence regardless of whether he wins or loses against Shawn Porter, or does it really matter about the title?
I don't think I'm backing Terence over Shawn.
So you believe he wins?
Yes. Yeah. I think he wins. And then, this is a good fight for both of them. But that's it. Manny will go out fighting only the best. And that's it.
Nowadays, we're seeing the likes of Oscar De La Hoya, Floyd Mayweather, a bunch of others, in fact, from the MMA worlds, coming out and doing exhibition fights. We know that Oscar De La Hoya has his exhibition fight against Vitor Belfort. What do you think of that?
I don't pay attention. I also don't watch the Three Stooges on TV. It's the same fucking thing. I mean, come on, man. You want a Vitor Belfort, a great MMA guy. Listen, these fighters, the boxers want to come out and fight, then make it an MMA fight or make it like hands and legs. But just boxing, That's not fair to the MMA guys. So then we want to change around, just do MMA, then it will be unfair to the boxers. So, you know, I didn't bother with it because it's two different sports. And I hate the fact they keep putting them against each other. And it's only one-sided. You know what I mean? So that's
I asked Manny, I said, do you think that you would potentially ever do exhibitions down the road? And he sort of laughed it off.
If they're there, why not? If the money's there, you know, basically you retire. You're retired now. Cash out. Every great fighter's done it, or their chances to do it. So why not? Yeah, well, these YouTubers jumping around, you know.
Well, right, next week is Jake Paul versus Tyron Woodley. He's sort of, look, I mean, regardless of how you look at it, he's making a big stir on the scene. Or he's creating a big stir on the scene.
And the good part, there's a good part, is that they're putting fighters on the undercards.
Yes.
So they're getting visibility. All right. I'm more of a purist. I don't give a shit.
Just if you wouldn't mind, I'd love to ask you about two heavyweight upcoming fights and your thoughts on them. We obviously have Anthony Joshua will be facing Oleksandr Usyk on September the 25th. Thoughts on that fight?
Usyk can beat Joshua. If he stays away from the heavy hits, he can definitely outbox Joshua. Joshua's never impressed me at all. I thought he was robotic and stiff. So Usyk, I'm backing Usyk on that. I would like to see him win. He's a good guy, and you know, it opens it up. And it opens the division up, so we get some fresh blood in there. Who else? Fury?
Yeah, Tyson Fury will obviously be taking on Deontay Wilder for the third time on October the 9th.
Interesting fight. They both know each other, so it's an interesting fight. I don't know, 50-50.
Really?
Yeah, I think so. I'm not counting Wilder out this time.
Okay.
Just because they know each other now, it's their third time around the block. I mean, Fury's, I don't know, it's an interesting fight. It's good heavyweight boxing.
Have you been seeing any of the videos that he's sort of been putting out now that he's training with Malik Scott?
No. I mean, you can train with Malik Scott and stuff, but you're not going to change. You've had over 20, 30 fights. As soon as you get hit, you go back to what you know best, what you've been taught for the last 30 fights. And that's just the way it is with everybody in every sport. I was teaching an MMA guy, I had Babalu Brow for 4 years. He might knock someone out twice with his hands. I was very happy. The rest was all submissions. No, I don't get that. So, you know, that's what it is. I don't rate that. But I just know that Malik is a smart guy. And so is Fury, and they know each other well. So it's going to be a good fight. It's something I will not miss.
Lastly, actually, I want to ask you about the potential fight that may actually seem like it's going to finally happen, and that's Amir Khan versus Kell Brook.
Oh, jeez. That's going to happen?
Yeah, it looks very likely now.
10 years too fucking late. Bloody hell. Well, got to go with Amir on that one because Kell's got all that eye damage. Every time he gets in the ring, gets hit, he's orbital smashes, so... Yeah,
I don't know much about that injury, but like even if he has metal plates, it's the same thing.
Yeah, it's never as good. Same outcome.
Yeah.
Amir's strong and fast, and you know, they're both good guys. So
it's a possibility that it could very well be the last fight for each of them as well.
It should be. Yeah, it should be. And listen, it's a good fight. Good money for them. I hope they make a lot of money. If you can make a lot of money in boxing and get the fuck out, good luck to you. Then that's the best thing, because this sport will rape you and leave you with nothing.
Yeah. I believe that. I believe that. Well, thank you so much for your thoughts on the fight as well as the other fights, and hopefully we'll see you post-fight and get your thoughts on.
Yeah, for sure. Done.
All right. Thank you so much.
I think that Wilder fight's good. I'm watching that Wilder fight.
Uh-oh. Careful.
I might have... What's
Sorry. There's a laptop right behind you.
Oh, shit.
It's okay.
Fuck that.
Sorry, what were you saying?
I'm interested in the Wilder Fury fight. Yeah, it's gonna be a good fight.
Yeah.
I might have to back Wilder. I'm a little more favored towards Wilder on this one. We'll see.
You can never count anyone out in a heavyweight fight, though.
Not at all. Not at all. So you're thinking back to the 90s when you can never count anyone out. They were all good fighters back then. But it's interesting. It's good for boxing.
Right.
It's good for heavyweight boxing too, which is we fucking need a lot.
Well, let's see what happens.
Yeah.
Thank you for your time. I appreciate it. All right. Bye, fight fans. Hey Fight fans, it's Michelle Joy Phelps. If you haven't already subscribed to our YouTube channel, make sure you do so by clicking this icon right here, or else.